Hey guys, so I'm doing another review. This book, I really like it. It's just that it was kind of weird. And I think maybe it was because it was written by someone from the UK. So I guess some of the wording was just really weird, but overall it was a really good book. It's called The Bookstore, and it's by Deborah Meyler. I think that's how you say it. We're going to have a class on how to pronounce people's last names here because clearly sometimes I get it wrong and I've been corrected. So, um, this book, it's pretty awesome. It was one of the books that I bought just by randomness when I went to the bookstore, where we get the clearance, and it's like buy or get 7 books for $5 or buy one book for $1. It's a really good bookstore. It's really cheap. I don't really look at the books too hard that I grab just because I kind of want to be more I just want to be well rounded with the reviews that I do. So I sometimes read the back and then sometimes I just grab them. This book I just grabbed because it was called The Bookstore, so I figured that was like right in my wheelhouse. Um, it's basically about this woman, Garland. She comes to America. She's from the UK. She comes to America to go to school, and she ends up getting pregnant. And in the book, she's kind of like a weird artsy fartsy kind of like museum kind of girl, which is kind of like me. And the guy that she's with is just like some uptight like accountant guy who's just all about his meetings and his lunches and stuff. So it's just really like I don't know, he's just not the kind of guy for her. And he proves that because as soon as he finds out she's pregnant, he leaves or he dumps her, which she already kind of dumped her, but then he saw her again and was trying to get her back, but then found out she was pregnant and then he dumped her again. It was just all kinds of crazy nonsense going on. And this entire time, she's just like this really sweet person who's like trying to figure out, life with being pregnant and she's going to have a baby, but she's got college and just all this stuff added together. So it's just a really good story. The bookstore comes into play because she decides to start working at this quirky little bookstore, which kind of sounds like the one that I actually go to, except 10 times bigger. It has like a second floor and just all these oddball customers that come in, and I don't know, it's just great. It seems like the kind of place that I would want to frequent if they had it here, but it's in New York and it's fictional. Um, so in the store, she works with kind of this older guy who's pretty cool. He's like the old man that wears the sweaters that you know knows everything about everything, and he's kind of weird. And then there's the guy who's kind of like, let me think. His name, not namesake, because obviously he wasn't named after him, but if you guys have ever seen Gilmore Girls and you think of Luke on that show, this guy's name is also Luke, except he works in a bookstore. But he plays an instrument, he's really moody, he's handsome, of course, because we always need a second love interest. And it's just, I don't know, they've got something going on. It's like a secret love affair that she doesn't know about, but it's happening. I don't know. I would definitely recommend reading it, especially if you want something that's not too hard to read. I probably finish it in about a day and a half or so, but it it's a pretty sweet book. You don't have to be too intellectual to read it, which I love because I'm not a genius. So, The Bookstore by Deborah, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you've read it or if you liked it or if you disliked it, please like, comment, or subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Bye.